Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this monthly product webinar that we do. The purpose of this webinar is always to feature a Clarity product or perhaps just a new idea of better health and wellness, because we know sharing this information is so important. And here to share information with you this week, we have our VP of Product Development, Christopher Neville. Chris has over 25 years of experience in advertising, wellness, and the direct sales industry. He brings a well-seasoned perspective to the Clarity product development team. Over the course of his career, Chris has worked with numerous well-known supplement, whole food, and bioenergetic technology-based companies in a wide range of roles, and we're lucky to have him on our corporate team. So without any further ado, Mr. Christopher Neville, take it away.
Thanks very much, Bernie, and good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you may be watching this webinar or replay, perhaps. It's always a great pleasure to check in with our brand promoters, but also our valued customers as well. And this presentation is really designed to share a little bit about one of our products that truly is very, very exciting from a longevity point of view. Celebrate is actually an age-defying night treatment. The basis of it being is that we always feel that when we're addressing the source of a problem rather than signs or symptoms, we can really have a mechanism or a tool of empowerment that allows us to get well, stay well, or even to affect some of the actual causes of the aging and sickness process itself. And so Celebrate is a beautiful offering that represents a topical night treatment cream. So just a little bit of background as to why, when you think of aging, sickness, and disease, many products are on the market. It's an absolute minefield of possibility. But one thing that Clarity has always prided itself on is purity and potency. And what we're talking about is a pure vegan night treatment cream. So what we're looking at is something that has no bad stuff. It's free of GMOs, chemicals, synthetics and dyes, fragrances, parabens, phthalates, and petroleum byproducts. And the reason being is quite simply is that the skin is the largest organ of the body. So we need to recognize the fact that it's an organ of elimination of toxins, as well as its ability from a transdermal point of view of absorbing nutrients as well. So consider this more like skin food, if you will. And it's been designed with the latest in French marine biotechnology. It is actually plant-based with a very specific combination of stem cells, which has got huge research. Like all of our products, as you may be familiar, we have a proprietary Q-set or quantum signature enhancement technology that can further enhance not only the bioavailability and benefits of the nutrients that are provided in the night treatment, but also what it does is it harmonizes our products to the body. So it really is one of those exciting innovations. When we talk about gene expression, we're talking about the ability for a nutrient to affect the true source of cellular dysfunction. And when we've got ingredients that have been included in the Celebrate, it's something that we have designed with exactly that factor in mind. It promotes the longevity protein activity. Clinical studies and evidence improve critical biomarkers. We're talking about wrinkle depth to elasticity and firmness. We also talk about suppleness and smooth skin and luminosity, but it's really about gene expression because that's where we can support cellular regeneration as well. So one of the key starting points, as is always the case with Clarity products, is about purity. Working with a very specific form of marine biotechnology, ephemer is a patented ingredient. And if we think of the word ephemer, it actually comes from the word ephemeral, which is, we can talk of it as being a brief moment that has this lasting impact in our lives. It's kind of the unforgettable memories, whether it be a sunset or whether it be some chance encounter with people or a life event. But ephemera is about, from a cosmeceutical or a cosmetic point of view, really about creating a starting point, this lingering opportunity that lasts long term. The technology is designed on a brown algae known as wakame. It's used in a range of different things, internally and externally, but this is actually based on the fact that this particular algae has a very short life cycle and it's unstable. So it has high levels of carotenoids and fucoxanthins and chlorophylls, but it's also grown or produced in bioreactors. It's originally obviously grown in the sea, but when you're chasing it around the Atlantic Ocean, it takes a lot to scoop them up. So there's also a variation in what is in the ocean itself to a bioreactor. So a bioreactor, you can always ensure a completely contamination-free environment for which the actual algae grow. And this is really important from not only a purity point of view, but also a potency and a quality assurance level as well. So this photoreactor that you see on the right-hand side there is all about providing the ideal environment and the pristine conditions that are necessary in order to produce this exciting ingredient. So as we mentioned before, ephemera is actually from a brown algae species that's known as wakame in Japan, but it's actually sourced in Brittany with Biotech Marine. You'll see the life cycle to the right-hand side here. This life cycle represents the actual algae itself, and you'll see the bottom left-hand side around, I refer to it like 8 o'clock, is a sporophyte, which takes many months to grow. But you'll see that as you follow that cycle up and around in a clockwise direction, where it actually disperses the spores. Further around, you'll actually see that ephemera is actually from this region of the cell cycle, or sorry, the life cycle. And this is the gametophyte part of the cycle. And it's very, very small, but it's also a critical phase because it's very unstable. It only lasts a very short period of time. So you can understand that if you're to try to bring the gift of what it represents to human health and longevity to the market, there's no real way of being able to do it in a scaled and environmentally conscious way other than looking at a bioreactor and maintaining the assurity of quality control there as well. So very exciting. But what we'll also see here is the fact that it is the first technology of macroalgae as far as the cell culture is concerned. You can see at around 10 o'clock on that cycle there, that from the ocean itself as an algae, it's then brought into a very specific environment in which they can grow the cell cultures. Now, these cell cultures are then scaled up in the bioreactors where we can have lots of them, then ultimately through the concentration phase, or what they refer to as lyophilization, is then producing the algae cells themselves, and it's then extracted. So a really complicated way of being able to derive the benefits, but a really important element to celebrate, because what we have is a very controlled and environmentally sensitive way of being able to bring the benefits of the macroalgae to our health. As it says there, the innovation is really the isolation of the macroalgae in cellular form. And we've also touched on the fact that it is grown in a bioreactor as well. What the research is showing is really one of those things that we're excited about, because as with our other products, when we're talking about gene expression, that's one of the levels of activity that we're able to tap, because within 24 hours, the benefits actually show up that it upregulates gene expression, or the HIF1A. What you'll see over on the left-hand side is one of the actual genes that are activated. You'll see within 8 days the proteomic results at a cellular level, increases of the SIRT1, and that's actually the bottom of that image on the left-hand side there. This particular gene is referred to as, or the protein of longevity. So an important response within what's been activated or upregulated within 8 days of using. In addition to that, there is a 101% increase in protection of cells against free radicals with the enzymes catalase. Now, we know that catalase, from a Calibrate point of view, one of our other fabulous products, is critically important at a cellular level for interrupting and neutralizing oxidative stress at a cellular level. And there's also a 63% increase in aconitase, which is a mitochondrial enzyme, and also increases homeostasis and protects the mitochondria, is what's referred to as the gene of Eve. 28 days into using the product, the benefits are now at a tissue level. So the skin reinforces its antioxidant capacities versus placebo. So this is where it's actually showing up at a true cellular level. And then it goes all the way out to 56 days with some of the testing where it actually produces micro relief as well. So there's research that shows, even with the gene of Eve protection here, that there's a lot more of the activity. You'll see that with these slides here, that within the timeframes as per the previous slides, you've got aconitase, which is a mitochondrial enzyme, actually helps the cell maintain homeostasis. And this is critically important rather than degeneration of the cell. And this is at a mitochondria level. So protecting the mitochondria is critically important for the cell energy level, but also in terms of degeneration, or the stage of aging that we refer to, is maintaining, cell integrity. Catalase, as we know, is a detoxification enzyme that helps defend the cell from oxidative stress and free radicals, and you'll see that the genes are upregulated at 24 hours. So tremendous research that was done on this one ingredient. And it says here, as you can read, the SIRT1, known as the protein of longevity and long-term activation at 101%, even after 8 days. So a wonderful, potent ingredient, and ultimately one of the important elements of being able to truly address the source of aging, sickness, and disease, and specifically with skin integrity, because we're not looking at a topical, we're actually looking at being able to truly address it at that gene expression or cell function level as well, because what goes on the body, we know, stays in the body. And so purity and potency is really everything. And you can see some of these other tests that were done from the control and the placebo right through to the FMA, and it rebuilds and upregulates. You can see the slide here with the gene profiling, where it upregulates genes. There's 635 genes that are upregulated, which are the genes that are responsible for rebuilding, rejuvenating, and renewal of cells, and downregulating the genes that are responsible for inflammation and other degenerative markers as well. So tremendous information there. You'll also see that the before and after images here, we truly believe that beauty begins within. It doesn't matter how much you put on your body. If we're not addressing the internal growth and renewal and regeneration of the body from within, then we're not addressing the source of the challenge. So while we're introducing Celebrate, it is a perfect companion product, of course, to everything else that Calibrate and the other product lines that Clarity have, that represent a way of being able to address the true source of it. This imaging you'll see is really identifying the deeper wrinkles, wrinkle depth here. So you'll see that the mapping shows after 22 days already a decrease in the wrinkle depth, and after 40 days even more profound. So the before and after shots and images are important for sure, but many of the results that have been shared with our from our customers and from our brand promoters is highly encouraging. This is a standalone product that has so much to offer, because in addition to the marine biotechnology, it's also introducing plant stem cell complex to the body. Now, a stem cell is an undifferentiated cell that have the capacity to regenerate the entire plant. So this is why when we've used this in the formulation, it's not only important for the body as a food for the body, and particularly for the skin, but it's also grown in a sustainable manner as well, using an advanced technology with wide access to plant extracts, even from rare and endangered species. So it's highly responsible for as an ingredient in terms of its concern for the environment, that we're not overtaxing some of the rarer beneficial compounds from nature, and we can work with nature with some very exciting advanced technology. One of the reasons why we included the plant stem cells, apart from the fact that it helps with the regeneration process of skin as well, is that the clinical research shows that it stimulates SOD, as we know, superoxide dismutase, the most potent primary antioxidant of the body, and then with catalase synthesis. So when we talk about SOD, that's an increase of 36%. That is really a hugely important number there, and catalase at 78%. So each of these particular measurements are about looking at the activity level within cell cultures. So this is a way of being able to measure the importance of the rejuvenation pathways, because when you can interrupt, as we mentioned, the oxidative stress and inflammation at a cellular level, we have a way and a mechanism from the outside in, rather than just the inside out with some of our other products, by including things like orange stem cells and edelweiss, and that really is the flower, as we know from The Sound of Music, Cape jasmine stem cells, butterfly bush stem cells, and globularia, cordifloria stem cells. So it's a complex, and they work together in different areas, whereby some are upregulating not only the longevity genes and the catalase superoxide dismutase, but also stabilizing the collagen matrix of the body as well. So as it says there, collagen preservation. So it restores this extracellular matrix and improves what's referred to as cell adhesion. Organizes the inner structure of the skin. As we know, it's not just about the outside of what we see, but also the foundational structure of skin integrity as well. So when you can stabilize that, it actually provides a much better foundation for the rejuvenation process as well for the body. And it shows here that it recovers the biological elasticity of what would be 12 years ago. That's significant. So it promotes wound healing and cell proliferation. So this rejuvenation, regeneration cycle as well. The fact that they're plant-based and what we refer to as non-petrochemical based means that, you know, what you put on your skin is what gets in your body. So we don't want to be aggravating many compounds that are available in the cosmetic industry are derived from petrochemicals. We know that. They're inexpensive, and we just feel that if you're putting them on your body, we know it's going to show up in your body. And some of these are actually causing some disruption. The cosmetic industry, sadly enough, is not as regulated as the nutrition industry, simply because if it's not being put in your mouth, therefore in your body, it's not as widely monitored. So the industry has quite a latitude of being able to find cheaper ways of producing their products that may not necessarily show up as being completely beneficial to the human organism. So we're really wanting to address true sources of the signs of aging, sickness, and disease. And Celebrate represents a way of being able to reset gene expression. As we mentioned, some of these markers, particularly with the longevity genes, and also some of the clinical results that are showing up within 7 days, right up to 50 plus days, is showing clinically what the ingredients as compounds are having an effect at a gene expression level and ultimately cell renewal level. And from a night repair complex, it's really a wonderful opportunity whilst the body is resting to support it in rejuvenating and regenerating. As you can see there, of course, restoring cellular function, rebuilding the epidermal network, and redoing skin integrity and appearance. It is something that's ideal for men and women. Realistically, guys, if you close your eyes and go to sleep and wake up in the morning, I don't think your wife's going to be too unhappy about the fact that she's waking up next to a younger fella. That's just a tongue-in-cheek, but nonetheless, I just think that it's important for us to recognize that, skin renewal and regeneration is universal, and it's a particularly powerful product that is showing some great benefits for many of our users, and the testimonials that are coming back are nothing short of compelling. I'd like to sort of also suggest that, whilst we can't make any claims with regard to the benefit of a product or our products itself, is really, put it to the test. There are a myriad of creams that are out there and night treatments, but when we're talking about a pure plant-based product, which has got the benefits of marine biotechnology as well as the plant stem cells, combined in a way that has provided true impact at a cellular level, we now have another product that can help with our quest for aging, sickness, and disease, and getting well and staying well and looking our very best. So on that note, all I'd invite you to is to explore the product, try the product. It's beautiful. We're seeing results, and I'm sure it'll work for you too. So on that note, I'd like to say thank you very much for tuning in. Hope it's been at least perked your interest on the product, and take advantage of it. Nature's wonder in the simple access form. Bernie, over to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Chris, and thanks for sharing that awesome information, not just about the Celebrate product and all the science behind it, but sharing just a different approach to skin integrity altogether. I think more and more we're realizing that what we put onto our skin goes into our body, and there's a lot of products out there that are not taking that into consideration like we do with the Celebrate product. So thanks again, Chris, for sharing that information, and thanks for all of you for tuning in. And wherever you are checking in from in the world, whether it's nighttime, daytime, the afternoon, please have a great rest of your day. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.